try to get Haitian Jack killed somehow or some way.
Yeah, I had heard initially they were fighting over a girl.
There was a recorded call between Haitian Jack and Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah.
Have you listened to that call? And then if so, what do you think?
Yeah.
If you want, I can play it right now.
Yeah, I heard part of it. And it was around the time I got tipped off that Jimmy and Jack, all I heard was Jimmy and Jack had a shootout down in Miami. And then later on I found out that it appears that Jimmy set Jack up to be killed. And the phone call is they're talking about it. And, they kind of like made bygones be bygones. But I'll tell you now, if someone puts a hit out on me, we can pretend we're friends, but, maybe one day I'll try to get even. But Jimmy's not coming out of jail. And Jack, is probably never getting out of the DR. Although he's probably crafty enough to travel here on some kind of fugazi, passport. But if he ever gets caught here, it's a 5-year. It's a re-entry, and INS or whatever the INS is now will charge you. The charge is a 5-year sentence. And then even then, they're so backlogged. By the time they get to you, even if they just want to get rid of you. You probably got like 2 years in the lockup, you know what I mean? So,
okay.
Just to get your case heard is like,
Wow.
So,
but watching, I'm not sure if you watched. I forget what the show was called. It was like this little mini series with I think could have 6-7 episodes. It was on Hulu or FX. He was on it. Deborah, I'm sorry, Deb or something. I think she was Walker Flock's mom or something.
Okay.
Well, he was part of the show, and he did an interview, some interview segments that would go back to him and to other folks. And he said something. I got caught up one time, but I got friends in high places. So when he said it, it's like, okay, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I believe him. So I don't know how he has those friends, but
yeah, it is. Somebody ought to just do a show on the hip hop era, 80s, 90s, because you could go season to season, cover all the music from those eras and the cats that were around, extorting and how entourages started and all. There's a lot of really good stuff from back then.
Do you think it'll be too real, maybe for?
No, I don't know if it's like right up 50 Cent's alley. It's like whether it's his show or whatever, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Right. So that's crazy. So because the phone call, it seemed like Jimmy had to try to get Haitian Jack killed somehow or some way.
Yeah, I had heard initially they were fighting over a girl. So
it always comes back to that.
So
huh?
that's what we heard.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's interesting. It seems to always come back to that.
And what happened was when I grabbed Jack with this guy, detective from West Hollywood, Gij Renzulli, Gij wanted him for the shooting, so I didn't really have a chance to debrief him. And then he was kind of mad at me because I tricked him into coming to the hotel under the guise that we got him a visa, and But Jack, they should make a movie about Jack because, like, when we did a search warrant on Jack's apartment out in Beverly Hills, LA, he had pictures of himself with Madonna. He had pictures of himself with all these, major stars. And then it came across, he had a picture with President Clinton. And so Jack and these two female, like Hollywood, Beverly Hills socialites and Bill Clinton. So what happened was Bill Clinton was like, recognized for whatever help he did. I think it was raising money for foster children program out in California. And Jack apparently had taken part in this, and they both got some kind of honors. And so the Secret Service didn't do their due diligence and had, one of the most dangerous extortion guys in the music business next to the former president. It was pretty funny. I'm not sure if he was president at the time or had just gotten out, but there he was with Clinton. So, I mean, think about it. That's an amazing story. You go from robbing drug dealers to, you know, starting beefs that lead to East Coast, West Coast wars, that lead to you being a Beverly Hills guy who's throwing parties at these high-end clubs with these rich people from LA, to almost getting assassinated by Jimmy Henchman. He really had an interesting life, you know what I mean? And he's got there's two Jacks. There's the charming Jack, that he was graceful and charismatic, dealing with these white chicks in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. And then there's Jack, who talks about, you know, putting a hole in a bad guy. So he's a real sociopath, but, you know, a funny guy, and he deserves his place in history. 50s should be doing a show on him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how that would work as far as money wise, you know. But you tell me Jack has a heart.
No, what I'm telling you is Jack pretends he has a heart. I don't know if he does or not. You know, I mean, he's a crook. You know what I mean? Like, he really is. He's a stone cold crook. He's a gangster. He demanded respect. He got respect, except from Leo Cullen, and you know, he definitely has his place in history. He was, you know, people were really afraid of him. You know, so.